I hadn't done the intro bed music in a minute. You know?
We have it. I like this.
I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. What's up, everybody?
Oh man, doing good.
Happy Sunday morning. Well, I don't want to hear it. We gotta. Could I tell you about a place that I ate food at that I just can't stop thinking about?
You ate food
and then a larger high conversation. Maybe
you were high.
No, I wasn't high. I have not partaken. I'm not here to judge. Do you, Jace? You see the guy on TikTok that's walking around with joints and saying, "Do you want one or do you want to double it and give it to the next person?"
Yeah, I love it.
It's so fucking great. But it really does highlight just, and where he's at, it's obviously legal, but it highlights like, man, there is a lot of people fucking smoking because this guy never walks up to somebody who's like, "Nah, I don't do that. I'm not into that."
A lot of people you would not expect either. Like we're talking 45-year-old guy in finance. You got a 22-year-old. You got a 61-year-old out there shopping at Walmart, and they're all like, "Yeah, give me the joint, man. Don't double that. I'll take it."
My platform for most of the last. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. My platform for most of the last 15 years has been that you should expect that, and that's why everyone needs to just chill out.
I think my thought is more not like is not so much like oh, I can't believe these people are smoking weed. It's that they smoke weed so much that they knew exactly what they were looking at, and that the conversation was just fine to have in public at the grocery store, Rylan. Like,
you're telling me how many people don't know what a joint looks like, Brad?
These are perfectly like store level pre-rolls that like I'm just,
everyone knows what they look like. Like 12-year-olds know what a joint looks like. It's on TV now too. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah, what a square, dude.
How many?
10, 15 years ago. But I'll agree with you on the setting, right? The willingness to just go, "Oh yeah, I'll take a hit," but
no,
they know what they're looking at.
Gives them the whole damn
Everyone
joint.
knows what we're looking at. Oh, he just gives it to him.
Yeah, he just got him ready. There you go.
The
but they don't light it up right then, or they do?
No. They're in the grocery store. They take it home later. Okay, the premise, Rylan, is based on people going into Walmart or Target or wherever.
They just gave you a free J.
Yeah.
Here.
But the premise is based on a guy who started, and he's got, like a body cam on or whatever. So he's recording the interaction, but it started with, "Hey man, do you want this $50 or do you want me to double it and give it to the next person?" And then you go to the next person and say, "Hey, do you want this $100 or do you want me to double it and give it to the next person?" And then so on and so on. And some of these get up to like a ridiculous amount where that person who's like, "Yeah, I don't want your $5,000," turned it up to $10,000, and they get to go give it to the next person. And the next person is like bawling their eyes out because their grandma just died and they needed $70,000 or $7,000 to stay in their apartment or whatever, and blah blah blah. But this guy turned it on its head and is like, "I'm just going to walk around with a handful of joints and be like, 'Hey, do you want one joint or do you want me to double it and give it to the next person?'" And so he goes to the next person. The next person's like, "2 joints? You're not selling? No, give me the 2 joints. Thanks. Bye." Just walks off. Like. I say all that to say that I wanted to have a high conversation as it pertains to time and food, because I had food from this place, and I keep on having to look at it. Nico Ubu, okay?
Sit, Ubu, sit.
Nico.
Not many people will get that, but I did.
I got it. It was great. That was fucking a 1987 pull right there. Like, maybe
had to be.
It was definitely not 90s.
Family Ties
earlier too. Yeah, it was Family Ties and a couple of others.
Life Goes On,
probably.
Yeah, maybe. There was at least one other.
Can we guess the type of food based on the name? Because this is not easy.
You want me to spell it for you?
Yeah.
NEKO space YUBU. You're never going to guess what this food is. Maybe you guess a country, but you're never going to guess what the food is.
Is it Nepalese?
Nope.
Am I close?
In that you're in the greater Asian area.
It's an Asian food. Is it Laos?
Nope. Bit more mainstream, but you're just not going to know what the food is. It's Korean.
Okay.
Love Korean food.
Me too, Rye.
So You ever seen somebody that's like, hey, we're just going to make a restaurant out of basically what sounds like an appetizer?
Sure.
And by restaurant, I mean this is like one of those ghost kitchen pop-up things where it's technically close to the original Koreatown over at like 35 and Royal. Everybody
Carrollton
familiar?
area?
It's Dallas, but the Carrollton area is the second Korea. It's like the new generation Koreatown over there at George Bush and Old Denton.
Yeah, I love that one.
So a lot of people familiar with that one in that part of Carrollton. Tons of Korean restaurants and Korean population around there. But
It's not an H Mart there. It's a 99 Ranch, I think.
I think there's an H Mart too. There might be both.
Yeah, I think there is.
Either way, the one big grocery store right there that's right off Old Denton Road and the Bush. That's where I get my shrimp chips, bro.
So we're going OG Koreatown, Dallas, 35 and Royal, not too far from the gentlemen's clubs that used to be all up in the area. And like I said, it's kind of close to that original area, but it's on the other side of 35, and it's just a nondescript strip plaza with like sheet metal businesses and wreckers and like body shops and then there's this little strip of like 5 quote unquote food makers, but basically you can't go into their restaurants. You just go to the door, they open the door and they give you the food. Okay. This place is serving, it's like fried tofu skin boats. Okay. Like these little bowls of fried tofu skin. And then on the inside, they put the most delicious, on top of rice, they put the most delicious fillings. Let me give you the rundown here. Marinated fried tofu skin filled with rice and more. That's it. That's what this place serves. Okay. They got some Korean snack chips and some like lemonade things, and then whatever they're calling this one Korean coffee. And then you place the order online. I think maybe you can call, and then you just show up to a door, you ring the doorbell, they open the door, they hand you the food, and you leave. It's not like a lot of restaurant experiences you're used to. But I cannot stop thinking about what I had from this place. You order them in boxes. So say they're like donuts. You get 4, 5, 6, 10, 12. I don't remember. I think they also got some soups. You have beef bulgogi.
Oh, give me all the bulgogi give me all the bulgogi in the world.
You have butter crab.
Mm-hmm.
You have something that's French, caratus repes. I don't even know. You have
probably not pronounced that way, is my guess.
Not repes. Cheese boldak. You have egg mayo, which is just an egg salad. You have fresh salmon, fresh tuna, kimchi bacon.
Oh, kimchi bacon.
You have this other thing called myeongren. It's like this mayo. I don't even know what it was, but it was good. Spicy pork. Then you have like this chopped up tofu one. Then you have the fresh salmon, but it's torched, where they just take the top of the salmon and they burn it to where it's just a little crispy on top.
A little scorch on there.
Then you have their version of like a they use like the good high quality tuna, but then they throw it in with like mayo to make like a tuna salad / tuna fish thing. But it's not all macerated and chopped up the way our canned tuna is. Think of it like high quality tuna tossed in mayo with like a little bit of seasoning, and I think there's maybe like some green onion or something in there.
Oh, yeah.
And all those things are all just individual order options that I told you, and they put it in this fried tofu bowl thing with the rice on the bottom, and you just eat it like by your hand, like 2 bites at a time. Like you gotta unhinge your jaw to get one big bite, and then you unhinge your jaw for the second bite. I've never had anything like it, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since I had it like a month ago. And it's not at all convenient to my world. I'm never over there. There's nothing over there. I don't know why one would be over there. I was over there as a cut through to get from one part of Dallas to Las Colinas for work, and I had to do some pickup at Granger. You guys familiar with Granger? Y'all going to
Sure
Granger
am.
on your
Sure
daily
damn hell
life?
are.
Very much
Yeah.
familiar.
So I had to go one of their one-off locations off John Carpenter or whatever. But I have not stopped thinking about this. And I'm telling you, if you have no reason to be over in that part of, I don't even know what we're calling that, far northwest Dallas. Like it's kind of unincorporated over there once you get past where the old... Ryland, did y'all ever come in from Hamilton back in the day to go to Restaurant Row or whatever? Back in
Not
the day?
that one. Not that. No, the furthest when you were coming in from Hamilton, your target was Hewlin. Like that was you weren't.
Jace, did you?
Yeah.
Jace, you ever hit up Trail Dust back in the day?
I know what.
No, I
you're
never made my way out there. I've lived around this area forever, so it's not like I had to go anywhere for food.
Yeah. It's just, it was kind of a draw back in the day. You had your old like spaghetti warehouse. You had your Trail
No,
Dust.
that was the West End for us. We would go to the West End for the spaghetti warehouse or the
So now it's a similar area with not much there other than like body shops, strip clubs, and just weird warehouse, whatever, can't fit other places because they're too big and they need cheap space. So if you're over in that area, Regal Row, Royal 35 area, whatever, go hit up Nico Yubu. And if I'm butchering the pronunciation, my apologies to all of those that are offended sincerely and otherwise.
Human Dad's Human Dad's Human Dad's Human Dad's
so close to a
Human
smooth
Dad's
open.
Human Dad's Human Dad's Human Dad's Human Dad's
You think of how bad it was. I think of how bad it could have been.
Human Dad's Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Get up off your ass Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Podcast Human Dad's Get up off your ass.
Tell your mom.
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 Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen.
Get up off your ass for the Human Dads Podcast.
What episode we on here, boys? Episode 265s
Wow.
of these. Can you even believe it? Can you even believe it? I can't believe it. I sit here in disbelief before you on a dreary, muggy, cloudy, overcast, fairly nasty looking day. If it was this way and about 15 degrees cooler with about 97,000% less humidity, I might be a real big fan. But being that we're dealing with the 98,000% humidity at a nice muggy 72
Yeah,
and just no sun in sight.
it's the worst combination of all weather types today.
You know what it is, Rylan? What did Mark Cuban call the playoff teams that technically like you're a 7 to?
The mediocrity treadmill.
Yeah, this is the mediocrity
he-
treadmill of
his-
weather.
His stubbornness actually put his team on, and he pontificated about it from a treadmill. What a fucking dick.
I like to be
We just do
topical.
one day I want to do a retro, not today. One day I want to do a retro on Cuban.
I'm happy to do it because
The
I've also
luckiest motherfucker in the history of this Metroplex, probably. Or
I knew
among the luckiest.
I knew a person that when he first bought it up the Mavs and he was starting to become Mark Cuban the celebrity, knew him from his bar in whatever small town Indiana college bar.
Bloomington.
He was 30 some odd years old, just standing in that bar, still just staring at co-eds creepily, and should have been a nice little red flag. Seems like a decent guy and wonderful father, so we'll give him that. But
Yeah, I'm more just on the decision making side of things. But gee, guys, I did a little research. We had Family Ties, Spin City, Brooklyn
Spin
Bridge,
City,
Day by Day, Bronx Zoo, His and Hers, Open House, Battery Park, and Champs as TV shows attributable to Sit Ubu Sit. Ubu
Dude,
Productions, UBU Productions.
that is a Mount Rushmore of one-hit wonder TV shows or singles. Because
Michael J. Fox. He must.
I think I
must have been
recognize like
somebody he liked
2 or
to work
3
with.
of those, right? Like,
Yeah, the only 2 that ran more than 3 seasons were the 2 Michael J. Fox ones at the top.
wow.
Remind me, because I thought it was the one that had Corky in it.
It didn't, but it had. I think Brooklyn
Mandela.
Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge was set in the past. There might have been some cast overlap in Brooklyn Bridge, and there might have been some cast overlap in Day by Day.
Okay. I definitely remember, you had to sit through the end of shows to get to the next show. So you would hear the production stamp, and that's all that was a sit, boo boo, sit. With what was the production company called?
UBU Productions.
Okay.
Or Ubu Productions. They had a dog holding the frisbee, and they had their name in a font called Hobo. If you're familiar with fonts in the way I am, going back 40 years. The funny thing about this list was it says open house.
Makes perfect sense, though, Jace. Don't tilt your head.
does.
It makes perfect
It does.
sense.
It tracks.
1989. Open house. 1 season, but it's listed as a spinoff of Duet. What the fuck is Duet? What did it do to warrant a spinoff?
I don't
What are we
remember
doing
Duet or Open House, but around this time, from our youth into our, call it 30 year, okay? They used to throw a lot of shit at you, especially in the spring.
Mhm.
There would be a lot of shit to be like, hey, are we getting a new show or are we not getting a new show? And like Jay said, you might get a 1 season for the spring, and we might never see or hear of you again. Or sometimes, if you were really bad, you'd get like 2 or 3 episodes in the spring, and just like, hey, we're calling it quits. We're cutting our losses right here, and the show is just done 2 episodes in. That is one of those that's very Baby Jessica, though, because at the end of the show, when you're about to watch that next show, it's in there, man. It's in there.
It was Sit Ubu Sit, Good Dog Woof, and then they would cut to, I think it was a Paramount thing, maybe, where it was a little brass fanfare, bum 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 ba-dum kind of thing. That's burned in the brain. When I'm 111 in the hospice chair, that's going to be in my brain.
Right up there with the HBO pre-show.
Yeah, the static.
Oh yeah.
So
Or
Day
the
by
do
Day was a-
do when the movie was starting.
Yeah.
Boy,
Football,
that didn't get you fired up.
Fox Football Sunday. There's a lot of them when we probably think about it. There's a lot of them.
There's a do you guys have like a theme song from your youth that just like gives you major, what's that feeling? Not nostalgia. Oh, well, whatever. There's a name for it, but like brings you back to your kid days. Mine was the moonlighting theme. The moonlighting
good
theme
one, Jason.
was good.
I'm
She
having
might-
trouble. Was it like instrumental and kind of?
No, it was like a total 80s singer who
Okay.
I think
I
it
don't
started instrumental.
I think mine is probably
I'm remembering L.A. Law. Sorry,
Yeah.
I have L.A. Law in my head.
mine's probably Perfect Strangers or Full House. Those just
Yeah.
it's just I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
happened
Perfect
to
Strangers
you?
came up the other day, and I was able to sing the whole theme song.
Just burned
Sometimes
in
the
there.
world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter
Right.
what the odds are this time, nothing's going to stand in our way.
How are you?
Wind in my heart, a long lost friend, because every dark street has a light at the end.
It would be
standing
better if
tall.
you sang it falsetto.
On the
Just
wings
so
of
you
our
know.
dreams. No, I don't do that. I'm doing the William Shatner version. So Day by Day was about a daycare, and it had Julia Louis-Dreyfus before Seinfeld and Courtney Thorne-Smith before Melrose Place, and it was on for like a
Oh.
hot minute. Brooklyn
Hmm.
Bridge, I think, is the one you were thinking was related to Life Goes On, Brad, only because it had that same production quality. It was set in the 50s, but it had the same production quality. And the mom was a lady named Amy Aquino, which she
Sounds like a
reminded me
slur.
back then of the mom from Life Goes On.
Things
That's all I
don't-
got.
Things don't just sound like slurs, Jason. That's not a way to analyze a
Can't
word.
do
was
that to
said.
somebody. Well, you can, but it has to revolve around like 1 or 2 words specifically.
You can't just say, "Hey, I heard somebody say their surname." Sounds like a slur.
It sounds slurry.
That's just
Sorry, I
not.
interrupted you, Brad. But
What about Wonder Years? That was a good theme song too.
Oh my God!
Of course.
What would
Joe
it
Cocker.
do?
How to do. The great Joe Cocker.
I know we need to do a Wonder Years rewatch. That was
No.
that was formative. That was great.
Is that a Beatles song originally, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And Joe Cocker. That's the one Beatles song that someone else did better than the Beatles.
Probably, yeah. Some people would argue Elton John did Lucy in the Sky better, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I knew a
Fair.
guy that was a big Beatles fan that said he liked that one better.
Probably gonna get a lot of coaches poll placement
Yeah.
from that one. Like it's.
But those are the only two I can think of.
Rye, how are you?
Man, no complaints. Got a lot of yard work done yesterday. Had a little volleyball at 8:30, so that got the day jump started. And
All
after
living the
after
same
this,
life.
I'm gonna go back out to Home Depot, get a little more mulch, and I'm gonna have mulch behind me. I'm gonna have the whole day to do whatever. I think I got to chauffeur some kids around. There's 2 kids spending the night here. We got the house. I don't know what y'all's vibe is, but we got the house that people always spend the night here, and our kids
Good.
almost never spend the night somewhere else. It's
Good.
funny you say
Yeah.
good. I'm like, why don't they have some friends that they like to go spend the night at their house? Like I support it, but I would also
Or-
support them going once in a while.
We're a fairly anti-sleepover household, which isn't to say we wouldn't be good here, but I think the sleepovers away.
Kids don't like it.
Well, the one is fairly particular. The other
Yeah.
one would sleep on a sidewalk at somebody's house if they asked. So, but I don't know. It's more of like a trust circle thing, which isn't to say y'all don't have trust circle, but I don't know. There's a few kids or there's a few family groups where we're just like, yeah, that'd be perfect. And he's the younger one. He's much more easygoing. He's definitely had sleepovers and whatnot, but like it's not just anybody and everybody.
I totally get that sentiment as a parent now, but man, as a kid, I slept over people's houses that I met for the first time that day as a kid. The sleepover was the most common. In fact, every single weekend there was a sleepover. Every single weekend. It was just constant. Like I
Yeah.
knew my friends' families almost as well as I knew my own family.
I think certainly once we got to high school too, because the sleepover turns into just either one, you're in 9th grade, somebody doesn't come feel like picking you up at 10 o'clock whenever you're done hanging out. So you're basically crashing, and whoever's parent, granted it wasn't everybody, but there was like 2 or 3 friends that like we were at his house for 2 weekends. We were at, God damn it, Rylan. We were at his house for 2 or 3 weekends. Then we were at my house for 2-3 weekends. Like it just went on a rotation. So I definitely understand that. And then elementary, the younger years, there was definitely a smaller group, typically neighborhood located, and yeah, we might have rotated, but those always felt like they were regular enough that I didn't feel like it was a thing, but they were big enough to where it felt like when you asked, you were asking for like a mountain.
Oh, when we asked, we absolutely felt like we were asking for a mountain. We were asking for a brand new car,
Yeah.
a pony, a Super Nintendo, and a Sega together with a pile of gold on top of it. Yeah, it was like the biggest imposition, and I think that's the biggest thing that we both. I don't know what Courtney's scene was. Hers might have been a little different, but for me, my mom and dad acted like it was such an imposition, either for me to have somebody over or for me to go somewhere, because they were like, oh my God, the people on the other end of this transaction are going to have another kid in their house and they might die. It was almost like too stressful to talk about. It was like, just don't, fine, I'll ask 3 times a year so that I don't have to be subject to all this hemming and hawing. So if they ask, if we don't have anything prohibiting the transfer of the kid, we'll say, okay, sure. Assuming, like you said, that we know their parents. Like we don't have to have their blood type or anything, but know who they are, know where they live, and have known them for a little while at least.
Yeah, the older I get, the more I realize that maybe my parents weren't the best parents in the world because it.
It was day one. Oh yeah, you can go sleep over there. Maybe you won't come back.
Well, we all like lived that. What are we called? Xenial lives. We're xenials, right? Yeah. Where
between,
yes, as we grew up, like it was full on 60s and 70s attitude for kids, where you just stayed out as long as you needed to stay out, and you just kind of came home by dark. And if you spent the night, just give me a call and let me know you're spending the night. Like it was just very, very easy. But yeah, there was no. I don't know ever that my parents called the parents of the person that I was spending the night at.
well, my mom definitely did. My mom was going to know somebody's name. She was fairly strict in that
Yeah.
regard. But I was fortunate enough that I had a good amount of friends, and so like it wasn't. There was never a day of sleepover like what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, dude. It was we all lived in the same neighborhood. I mean, I lived in this neighborhood that I live
Yeah.
in now. So like every sleepover was walking distance or at least bike riding distance.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was ever being
That
dropped
changes the
off.
calculus a little.
Yeah. Yeah. I was never being dropped off across town or anything.
I remember I went to one sleepover, and then Jason would check in with you. How you doing? I went to one sleepover with a buddy of mine at the time. I want to say 5th grade, guy named Jonathan Sato. Okay.
Yeah. He killed himself after scamming people out of satellite dish
That guy's name.
boxes.
That was Duggar. Sato was the fake Disneyland.
No,
Oh, that's right. Fake
Disneyland
Disneyland. Yes, in Frisco. That's right.
No,
Yeah.
the guy's name was
Duggar,
Thomas.
as far as I know, Duggar's still alive. He just had to pay a massive
No,
fine.
that was Thomas, and he did it so much worse than Duggar did. Duggar's was quaint. Thomas's was just massive. And that gentleman I didn't meet until I was 18 years old, so I'll have you to stop doing that. But we went over to Jonathan Sato's house, spend the night, and they had the specific dining room table in the dining room, which already made me think they live like 4 streets over. So it's not even like that different of a neighborhood, right? But they had the specific dining room with the dining room table detached from the kitchen. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Where-
Who knew?
why didn't you guys tell me I had to bring a suit and tie? And then they ordered pizza, and it wasn't from Domino's. It was like from a neighborhood spot. So it comes in the different boxes. And then they ordered the pizza with like the white sauce, not the tomato sauce. So I was just like,
my God.
oh, okay. So these guys just travel to space and go to country clubs all day. Like, where
We got white
What-
sauce? You kidding
what-
me?
what tax bracket is this that I'm a part of now? Like these.
The white sauce test. Like,
Yeah.
maybe not so much nowadays, but 30 years ago, did your family know about pizzas with white sauce?
I didn't even know it was a thing until I went
I
to
didn't
Sato's house
Until
and
I was
spent the
probably
night.
17 or 18. Yeah.
Guarantee they had a fridge in the garage, right? No, full of
Oh,
sodas. 100%.
He had 3 pairs of Jordans. I thought these
Yeah.
people were like printing money. I
Ozarka water machine in the kitchen, probably.
you open the pantry. He's got Gushers. He's got
Gushers.
He's got Little Debbie everything.
My boy has gushers, bro. That's
He just got fruit snack. He got multiple
It's
different
like
fruit
the kid in the movie that had the power glove.
oh yeah.
He had the power
He's
glove.
like, whoa.
Of course he had the power
glove.
Again, he lived 4 streets over. There's
And
no way he
Gushers.
could have been living that different of a life from us. But I'm over
And
here.
name,
Like,
name brand ass gushers too. We're not talking about off brand gushers.
we got to just have a Capri Sun just like during the day. We didn't have it like after a game or like a birthday party or something. We just got to have Capri Suns just like in the house.
Had that Nintendo controller where you can like hold the button
Program
down
the-
with the switch.
Yeah. Program the repeat right on the button. Yeah. The NES Advantage, the big square one.
I was like, he's just living a different life than me. Like it might as well have been like the other side of town. And I'm telling you, I could have walked to this house 4 streets over. And I was just my mind was blown in 5th grade.
This brings up a really good point, though. I was thinking about this the other day. It doesn't feel like there's as much separation. Maybe I'm wrong, but like even intra neighborhood, there's not as much separation between one family to another when it comes to like stuff that kids have. Like, for example, every kid has a phone, right? Like every kid, it seems like every kid in this neighborhood has a phone. Every kid, if they need it, has like some video game system, or if they like it, has some video game system. Like what are the separating factors now? I don't think it's that stuff. Is it more affordable now?
I think
Those
consumer.
are the few things that are more affordable,
Yeah.
actually a little more affordable relative to everything else, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think you still get noticed if all you're wearing is all Nike. Like if everything you have
Yeah.
is Nike, if every shoe you're wearing is still some player edition shoe, like I think all that stuff gets noticed. What's different now though is I think that the just overall comfort and whatever is relaxed and like I'm not thinking about just is accepted in a way that I don't remember it being accepted until like we were seniors in high school and people just didn't give a shit and wanted to get out of jail. Like,
Yeah, I think probably electronics are now more accessible than they've ever been. Like,
Yeah.
everybody has a flat screen TV. They all cost about the same now. Like back then, if I walked into someone's house and they had one of those big screens, you were like, "Holy shit!"
And the picture wasn't like you had to be at the right viewing angle
was
for it to not
terrible.
look like shit, but yet you knew that it was just like $4,000 TV that
And
probably
it was so
weighed
big.
300
yeah, I was going to
pounds,
say the
you
other
know.
part of it too is like, let's say you went over to your friend's house who was living in an apartment at the time and somehow they decided that was a good idea. And it's taken up like half of the quote unquote living area
Yep.
because it's protruding out from the wall with like its trapezoid shape ass. And then the screen itself is this big rectangular monument to like TV. It's just, oh, those were awful. And you're exactly right, Ryland. Like you had to be sitting right in front of it with the light coming in at like a 45-degree angle, because if you weren't right in front of it and that angle was thrown off, half the screen you're looking at was either black or there was such a shadow cast on it that, yeah.
They were rare, and then you'd see it and you'd be disappointed. You'd get into the person's house and you'd be disappointed. You know, whereas the regular ass Zenith or Panasonic or whatever we would have had that would have been, 27 inches or 32 inches, a regular looking TV.
32 inches, and it took two people to move that son
And
of
it
a
was
bitch.
100 and something pounds. You had to have help because you couldn't just grab the whole thing
Yeah.
around. It would look good from the side though, right? My dad could lean around the edge of the little counter where we ate there and watch Wheel of Fortune and, not have to crane his neck, for what at the time was probably a $300 and something or $400 and something TV instead of like $3,500 for this great piece of shit. It's pretty crazy, man.
We 100% had the super old cabinet TV. The
with
giant
fake
wooden
drawers on the
cabinet.
bottom. Why
Yeah,
the
with the-
fake drawers?
Yeah,
And-
we had that, and then we also had the new TV on top of it for probably 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
That just
yeah.
said it.
Live that life. Live that life.
100%.
Live that life. We did the same exact thing. And my
Perfect.
stepdad turned our second, I don't know that. We used to have a living room like when you entered the house that was basically connected to the kitchen. Like it was big enough to fit a couch and a love seat in. And then there was like a what we called a den, and he turned it into a bar. And by turning it into a bar, I mean really had like a big ass bar sitting in it as you walked into it, a big ass saloon mirror on the wall behind it, one whole wall full of beer cans that he had been collecting since he was like 10, pachinko machines, game machines, beer neon lights every damn where. It looked like a bar and I'm not exaggerating, it was a bar, okay? But if you went over to where the TV was from about 1991 to about 1996, it was the new TV sitting on top of the old wooden TV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like sitting there, hasn't been turned on for 5 years, but it acts as the entertainment center.
It was the
Because-
table, the console.
It
Yeah.
also weighed like 197
Yeah.
pounds. So like,
Couldn't get that sucker
How are you
out if
gonna
you
get
even
rid of
wanted
it?
to.
Yeah, how did they get rid of TVs back then? I should ask my dad if he remembers. I'm sure
You're
that where we grew up, they probably just dumped it on a pile in someone's back 10 acres or something.
Yeah, I
you
was
know?
gonna say where my grandpa, where they had land out in East Texas, they had a hole. You would like where everybody's land kind of met. There'd be a 5 acre spread, and you would see these sticks sticking out of the ground to indicate that we had dug a hole and put some shit there. And they would just go out to that space, dig a big ass hole, put a bunch of shit there, and move on with their life. I think now there's appropriate electronic disposal.
Yeah, you can call or have it hauled off or whatever.
I
The
think we got
drawers,
places
the
here in
fake
Dallas.
drawers on the cab. I can remember being little enough that I thought there was a drawer there and being offended by the reaction of my parents when they told me, no, there's no drawer there, because I just remember that like short circuiting. How old could I have possibly been? 4 or
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
I just remember that short circuiting me, like, why in the fuck did you put a drawer handle on this thing? Why? Like, what is
Yeah.
this? Like, I remember feeling incredulous towards them that they just accepted that this was okay. Like we're just gonna put fake drawer handles on things. We love drawers. We love the way they look.
That also tracks with 4-year-old Rylan, just upset about the fake
what is
drawer
that?
on his TV. Yeah.
Well, like that, yeah. It's upsetting to me now. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Jace, are you doing okay?
No, I'm terrible.
Good.
That's not the response a friend should have when his friend says he's doing terrible. The mental illness is a big problem today in the world.
Well, listen, there's kids over in Africa that aren't eating, and secondly, you could be dead. So
It's
that you're doing terrible, I will respond again with good.
I remind myself all the time. No, I'm actually doing okay. I got a business trip tomorrow off to
Florida.
Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got to get in a business trip before my trip to Florida this year, obviously. You guys know I'm going to Florida.
Going to Florida in May.
Going to Florida in June.
PCB.
Got a June beach, a little PCB. Yeah.
Mm.
So
You driving there?
I'm one of the, yeah. Yeah, because
Every year, this brings
We-
content to this show.
We've all been doing this long enough that we know he's going in May or June. We know where he's going. We know how he's getting there.
yeah, you do.
And the
I'm
stories
nothing
will
if
come
not
back.
consistent. Yeah. Well, this is we're bringing the cousins along this time for this beach trip. So,
Well, really well last time, so I would think, if it ain't broke, why?
I'll
try
tell
to
you,
make
man,
on it.
it's a beaten travel situation, but it is my favorite. It's the thing I look forward to every year. I love it.
Hey, can you do a bit? Can y'all in the travel, because you're not going to drive straight through, are you? Are you
No,
gonna?
usually
you
on the way
make a
back I
stop?
do, but yeah.
Okay, if you make a stop, stay in the shittiest hotel or motel.
No.
Come on.
No, there's not a chance I'm doing that because I am.
Come on.
No, you do that.
Where am I going to go where I'm staying in a hotel motel?
Stop on the way to Waco.
What? What'd you just say?
It's too close.
Yeah.
Stay at a shitty hotel in Waco.
What am I going to do? Stay in
Mr.
Duncan
Water Park Airbnb. I only stay at Airbnbs where there are slide systems across the pools and
pools?
sit
It
on
was
my
a
rocking
pond.
chair.
These people built a pond.
Yeah. Don't you tell me to stay in the shitty. I'll do that as soon as you do that. Diva.
Sorry, it's not allowed. I'm not allowed to do bits. You're allowed to do bits.
No,
Come
I'm
on.
not. I refuse to do bits when it comes to hotels. I'll do other bits, but I'm very particular about where I sleep, especially
take
during
the-
travel.
Energy that's required to get everybody together and leave home and pay for whatever it is that we're going to pay for. I like it to be nice. I'm going to eat well. I want the hotel to be nice.
100%.
It's like I would much rather, if I can't do that, then I'm
not going.
gotta wait, save more money until I can go.
Yeah.
That's just always been
What's
forever. That's been my feeling.
Do you guys have the irrational squeal point like I do on Call It Vacation, where it's like, look, we're already spending 2,000. If you're telling me it gets better with another 500, like what's the difference in 2,000 and 2,500?
Yeah, especially on the family vacation because we don't take those as often. I'll do that.
You know I am.
Yeah.
Of course. Like
Like it would
Oh,
have to be like double, right? For you to be like, oh, I'm not doing that. Well, I don't think that's a good idea. But like
even
if
then, if you show me the value, if you show me the value, then we'll talk. Dude. Especially as I get older, I am much more willing to spend money on things that provide like great experiences with my kids and like good memories. Like to me,
It's the opposite of the too much stuff argument we talked about a
Yeah.
month or two ago, right?
Yeah,
It's the same. If
exactly.
you feel it's all the same feeling, I'm the same way. Give me
Yeah.
experiences.
yeah, all day. So
Agreed.
that's money well spent for me if I can at the end of the year be like, hey, remember when we went to Europe or whatever.
I mean, I think we did it with our little Disneyland trip that we got planned here. Like we had a wonderful time and everything we did last time was great, but we were like, hey, that walk was maybe just a skosh further than
Yeah.
it needed to be.
You did that exact same thing the last trip we made. First trip we stayed at a spot. Second trip we stayed a little further walk away. Third trip we said no, we're going back to the original place.
Yeah. In the walk compared to the price difference,
Yeah.
any rational human being would be like, that doesn't make sense. And I fully get that. And I agree with it. And it wasn't the only deciding factor in
But
this.
at the end of that day, when you're walking back
Oh,
after you've been
game
there, that short
changer.
walk is,
Yeah,
is
dude.
everything.
Yeah.
100%.
That middle trip we went on a few years back where we stayed a further walk. I just remember thinking like my feet were gonna fall. This was in the beginning of the really recurrent inflammation issues that caused everyone
Yeah.
to accuse me of having gout. And I just never again, dude. I'm staying at the closer one, the one that Sarah
It's a
hooked us
weird
up with
thing to
last
say
time.
out loud.
Everyone accused me of having
Everyone, the
gout.
world accused me of having gout. I was
It's a
wrongfully
weird
accused of having
thing.
gout.
You know, Disney is probably the number one offender of this Brad rule, where you end up spending more. Like it's so easy there. Like a good example is, we stay at the cabins at Fort Wilderness in Disney World. For those of you that don't know, like it's a setup like you're out camping, but there are a bunch of like really nice cabins, and then it's on a lake, and bus stops are decent little walks. I mean, we're talking like maybe 100 yards at the farthest is a bus stop. Yeah, we get the golf cart every time so that we can probably pay
You're
like
probably wearing a
$400.
gold jacket. You know, this is kind of like Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
Five Timers Club
Yeah.
blazer. You're probably dressed in such a way that you look like you own the park.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
golf
yeah.
cart probably drive past you, see you walking, and stop, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Southward, can I
Yeah.
take you somewhere?
We
For
don't
sure.
wanna walk to the bus stop.
It's just something about having access to the golf cart, man. Just
Hey, the
like,
golf cart, I don't know if it would hit as much, but there were multiple times in when the kids were younger where the golf cart was the biggest part of the vacation at multiple different places.
no doubt. It is one of their favorite things to be able to do is hop on the golf cart and drive somewhere. Like I think it's that thing that you probably don't remember, but you probably had to when you were 16 getting your driver's license. It's that like ability to have some level of freedom that you could just get into something and then end up at a place you want to be, even if they're not the one driving. It's just so easy, so convenient. So yeah, I'll drop easy $400 on that for.
Just having a golf cart to drive 800 yards for the
That's it.
for the vacation.
That is
But if for a
absolutely it.
vacation of that length of time, though, $400 is not with what you end
No.
up spending on food and everything
Yeah.
else.
That's
It's
the way you
same as
do it
what
to
you just said.
yourself.
What's
though.
$400?
That's exactly what you do.
That's how you
Yeah.
do it to yourself.
But if
though. You're
sitting
like,
here in real regular life at my house, if someone offered me something of that level of value for $400, I would laugh. No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
You know what you can get for $400, son?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I know we're almost done with the
I was
show.
concerned.
Just been moving all week at work. We are changing locations and we're going to have to rank the beatings. And maybe this is recency bias, but moving is the biggest beating.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's just It's such a power down. And even in a situation like this where you're like, hey, it's work, you could be paying like movers, so to speak. It's not even just the taking stuff from one place to another. It's the situating, it's the reorganizing, it's the putting everything back together. It's the getting 30 people all back on the same page. Moving is just I don't know if I'm going to move again. If there's a move announced, I might just be in different part of dental. I don't
Oh no.
I
What
just
did you have to move at your office though? Like what are you talking about? I don't understand. This is your workplace.
Yeah, for one, we are considered a manufacturing what do you want to call it, business. So there's multiple $100,000 printers, and I don't know if you look at the printer at your house and you're thinking, hey, there's no way that's $100,000. What would you have to do to that printer to make it $100,000? Well, just go ahead and extrapolate that out, and that's got to be moved, and we got a few of those.
Wait. You're moving this stuff? You're telling me the company didn't hire professional movers to move their business?
We have 27 people that work with us.
So it's
I would still
100.
hire, especially to move expensive equipment.
It's a small
Yes.
business. It is a small business.
You're saying they
Okay.
can't afford movers?
I'm saying they're not looking at it with the vacation rubric that we just looked at it with.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, that seems silly. Like, why risk breaking equipment by not hiring professionals? That's a bad move by them.
I think the other thing is too is you think that there's professionals out here that are just going to be like, oh, it's your $100,000 printer. You want me to treat it like with little kid gloves?
No, but at least
Like we've
they're
hired movers
usually
multiple times and every single time received an apology for something that was broken. Like,
yeah, but they're usually like insured and bonded, right? So at least you have that.
oh yeah,
backup
that's
plan.
that's a super easy. Like, let's make a claim with the moving company's insurance company. Yeah,
Or
there
you
you
have,
go.
or you have Brad moving gigantic with his bad back and hernia popping out. Like,
That's
Yeah,
5
that's
years
all
ago.
it's a very bad idea. I've helped move offices, I don't know, a handful of times actually, and we always hired a mover of sorts. I think we did some stuff ourselves when we were really small, but
Well,
I don't know.
I'll give you the boss's number. You can provide some feedback.
I will.
What
I'll leave
ethnicity
a
is he?
Google review.
What?
No, I was talking to my friend.
What kind of question make?
I just want to know before I call. I like to align cultures. That's not ridiculous. That's called being sensitive, idiot.
Can I dismantle what you just said? Will you allow me? When
No.
you say I would like to align cultures, I can't even begin to understand what that means.
Well, tell him, Rylan. Rylan gets it.
Perhaps different cultures might have different expectations around how you would approach a cold phone call from a stranger, but someone that you know have a mutual acquaintance or friend.
Thank you. Pretty
So what are you
pretty spot on.
for the phone call. What are you gonna do? Pre-offer like some tea and crumpets before the phone call for your?
Yeah, well, if I'm dealing with like a Norwegian person, I know that there are certain customs and processes and procedures that you need to follow when you talk to someone.
You're gonna
right?
want like some pickled fish as a
Yeah,
gift.
pickled like heron or whatever. They like wear a Viking hat. I don't know. Whatever you do.
What about like a Kenyan person?
You would ask them if they want to go run a mile while you discuss whatever it is that you're gonna
Do you
call them
see?
about.
Hold on. You talk about cultures not being aligned. Having the average Kenyan running a mile next to Jace.
That's a misalignment.
Wearing my work stuff so someone can go.
Yeah,
Oh, good for
wearing,
you for
like,
getting exercise.
generic office bro clothes.
My khakis and my.
Got on a Nike dry fit with some chinos. Fucking hold on. Let me put my orthotics in. Oh. Had a little volleyball yesterday. Had a little basketball yesterday. back into the good graces of the winning column on all fronts. You know, at this age, man, when you take these teams from like, let's say a volleyball team from like 11 players down to like 6 or 7 players, and
It's better.
the best players just get to stay on the court the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Holy Jesus. Like it's the difference that it's made with those minute deficits shrinking. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. I've run the advanced data on it, and it's ridiculous. We those who pay attention to the Fire Bears, we changed our name to Playmakers, and yesterday about mid-game they just decided, hey, can we go back to being called the Fire Bears?
Oh no.
No, like in a huddle, I was like, all right, y'all break it down on 3. Who's calling it? And somebody was like, can we just do Fire Bears? and they were all like, yeah, Fire Bears. I was like, all right, Playmakers on 3. And they all just kind of slumped shoulder. I was like, all right, I called it back in. We did another breakdown out of the timeout. I was like, all right, Fire Bears on 3. And they all got jazzed. And like I said, we ended up getting a win. It's been a rough spring season, whatever. Can I ask y'all about what we started the show with?
Yeah, is this the way? Are you going to kind of do full circle and wind down the show with what we started with?
A callback, unless anybody else has something. This isn't that
No.
great. It's
Call it back,
admittedly.
dude. And did high. Kill it. I
want to give you one little thing, which is that as a 40-plus year veteran of weather in this region,
Yep.
our bar for continuous weather coverage has dropped so dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
Were you watching a little playoff basketball last night?
No, but we did at one point around 11 something. We turned the TV on, and I noticed that all the locals were in continuous coverage.
Mm.
And it was a night of thunderstorms and rain. Yes, there were a few spots that got some pretty bad hail, but guys, have we ever done 3 or 4 locals wall-to-wall
Good point.
coverage to follow a little bit of hail here and there, even if it was big hail? No,
that's a
we
good
haven't.
point.
And it was not. It was just a regular spring storm night for us, and we were in Plano for a while, and it was that way over there, and then we came home, and it was that way over here. So I had sample size that was reasonable, and on the TV, I mean, Delkus didn't even want to be on there. It was the lowest energy. Some producer or editor somewhere has mandated this, and they've all followed each other into the realm of we're going to do wall to wall. My mom texted me.
Mm.
A guy I work with that lives in North Carolina texted me.
Mm.
What are we doing with weather media?
I'll say I was watching that Oklahoma City, or were we watching Minnesota, Denver? I don't even remember now. It was nighttime, watching playoff basketball for a minute with Shep. We got the weather break-in from Delkus to tell us about a possible tornado out in Jacksboro.
Yeah. Springtown or something. What the
That
hell's
should
going
not
on?
qualify. Jacksboro should not be interrupting my TV time.
No, we got to do that on the crawl.
Yeah.
We have the
Jacksboro's got
technology to target.
600 people.
But they did the crawl even 10 years ago. They did the crawl.
And
I
then
think they have so few people watching their TV station that this is the audience they're chasing now.
And then
That's
we
what I
got
think.
I don't think this has ever happened in my life. Great call for you, Ryland, and we'll end it on my high food conversation. I don't think this has ever happened in my life. I'm serious, okay? It happened last night.
You're damn serious.
I'm damn serious. We got the double break-in, okay? We got the basketball going to commercial. Don't want to take time away from your basketball. Keep it in the small screen. Delkus break in to tell us about some wind formations, tunnel formations out in Jacksboro. Okay. Then Delkus goes to the earpiece. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's produced.
Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Breaking into NBC or ABC national news to tell us about a loud noise that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I've never seen the double break-in, the weather break into the game, and then into the weather break-in, a national news drop to
Let
say,
me ask you
hey,
a question about the Jacksboro thing. Was there a hook echo?
Oh, there was definitely a hook echo, Rylan. Come on.
Listen, from what I saw last night, it bears asking. If there was
Okay.
a hook echo, they are justified in breaking in, but really for no more than 5 to 10 minutes tops.
you know how they used to be able to show you like the different color radar? And it would just be like, this means like extreme storm, this means rain,
Mhm.
this means overcast or whatever. Now they can like break the colors by layers. And so they're like, now we're going to bring you the infrared layer, whatever. And you see all that red in there? This is what we're worried about.
Yeah.
And when he did that, the whole screen went red. And when he said, this is what we're worried about, my 9-year-old is like, hey, how far is that from us? And I'm like,
What you're telling me is no hook echo, which again, it reinforces what I told y'all. They've decided to lean into this harder than Jace is leaning into female singers.
but
Yeah, which is hard.
watching it with a 9-year-old though highlighted to me this is why they do this, because now the 9-year-old is glued to it. And you know who else is going to be glued to it? The 69-year-old who's
Yep.
going to be like, well, if they broke in, then we're obviously having some sort of weather event somewhere, and they're going to be glued to it. And we're just here in the middle being like, hey, I got 17 ways to look this up on my phone. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and do my own broadcast for the hook echo here. I don't need Delkus breaking into Wolves Nuggets.
And there was a time when a break into regular programming meant some shit was popping off, and it was probably must watch. So but they strayed from that in TV while our brains were still flexible enough to adjust to it. Whereas the generation speak of, they're like, whoa, they broke in.
The technology at one point was good enough to be like, hey, we figured out how to nail these things down 5 minutes before they happen, and we can tell everybody about it. So you've got 5 minutes to go seek shelter. And then it improved to, hey, this is happening in 5 minutes, 50 miles away from you. So in the next 45 minutes, you're up next. Here it comes. And now we get 2 hours away. Potentially, this is what might happen. Don't have a visual on anything yet. Could be expecting this. We're going to stay with you until this thing goes through the massive population that exists in this area. And like you said, fairly regular spring night. It does look like Fort Worth experienced a decent amount of flash flooding, or a part of Fort Worth experienced a decent amount of flash flooding. And I'm sorry to those people, but I do feel like we got a real loose break-in last night, and I 100% agree with your assessment.
Yep. Disappointing. And you could tell Pete knew it, man. Pete did not want to be there.
Sleeves weren't rolled up. It still had the jacket on.
Jacket was on, but it was just the pros, the explanation. There was nothing to talk about, and so they weren't really saying anything. It was pathetic.
You could tell Pete was like, I'm 70 years old.
Harold Taft spinning in his grave, dog.
And y'all got me in here on a Saturday night.
Sorry, Harold Taft's been dead a lot longer. Howard Taft.
Y'all got me
Harold
in
Taft's
here
been dead since the 1800s.
on a Saturday night. I'm 70 years old. I had to leave my palatial estate in West Plano to come down here and act like this Jacksboro windstorm is something of note. You could tell in his eyes. I started talking about Nico Yubu. Do y'all ever think food is like a metric of time? Okay. It's not like all this stuff was just there. This was like something that somebody had to figure out. How many iterations do you have to go through of food before you arrive at something like fried tofu skin boats stuffed with rice and other accoutrement on top? Like, how many iterations and forms of liquid drinks do we have to go through to arrive at bubble tea? And then when you do get to these things, do you ever like, because I thought, oh, bubble tea, maybe that's something that's been around forever. And I went and I looked it up, and it's just a Taiwanese place that started throwing in these tapioca jewel bubble things in the bottom of their tea drinks in like the 80s. It's not, haven't been around that long, probably largely technology driven, probably some waste product that was able to be sustained and turned into further use. Like, but I think about when I have something like this that just seems so, and I don't mean to otherize it, but it just seems so foreign. Like how many iterations did we have to go through? How many generations of a food unit did we have to get through to arrive at this?
That's why we're lucky to have people that want to experiment with food and figure that out. I don't understand how. What is a tapioca ball?
I still don't get it. And I've looked it up.
My
There's-
kids eat it all the time. Go get boba tea. What
So
what
great.
is
I
in
love
there?
boba tea. I really love it. There's apparently like 2 or 3 different kinds of the little balls. And again, how do you arrive there? How does it wind up with a, hey, you know what we could do? Throw that at the bottom of some tea and give them a bigger straw where they could suck it out where they're drinking the tea. How do you get there? How
Well,
long does that take?
I looked this up. Apparently, this is just a known dish. Yubu chobap, Korean fried tofu pocket stuffed with vinegared rice. These sweet, savory, and juicy boats are often topped with ingredients like bulgogi, spicy tuna, or fresh salmon, making them a popular versatile lunch or party food.
Which is exactly what I would call it. That they nailed it. But again, how do you get to where, you know what? We got rice. You know what? We got tofu. Here's the 7,000 things you could do with tofu. And oh, by the way, we're going to do this, and then we're going to start putting egg and mayo. Even just arriving at the egg salad situation. The numbers of iterations and the time you have to take to get there. I don't want to say we take it for granted. I just don't feel like we go through the thought processes that we have to necessarily go through to understand how all this shit just got here. And it leaves me with a gummy thought, as our friends say from the dumb zone, like where you start getting into these. Okay, so you got to tofu. Obviously, that was an accident or maybe it wasn't an accident. I don't know. I don't even understand how we got to a protein dense meat replacement.
The things they have to do to soy beans to get soy sauce, much less tofu. will make you
Fermentation,
question,
Rylan.
Yeah, how do you
Fermentation.
get? But like all of it, not just that. That's like the basic function. But there's all this other stuff around it. Like, how do you? You're right. How do you get there? You know what this is? This is I call this the first surgery conversation.
Exactly. It's
Who was
exactly
the
what
guy
it
that
is.
said, "I'm going to open you up and fix you"? Like, how?
You know
walk
what?
me
I'm
through the steps.
going to cut. I'm going to open you up. I'm going to take this, then I'm going to use this to put you back together, and you're going to be good. And somebody was like, probably against their will. No.
It was experimented on slaves, or it was
Yes.
someone who was literally dying anyway. Like, that was your only two options.
You talk about soy sauce. There's fermentation involved in the process. Just the idea of fermenting being honed and not like how many people had to die in the process of understanding what fermentation was as a process? How many
Or
people
were they dying anyway, and it was one of the things that helped
with like
kill whatever was hurting them.
yeah, so we're looking at like eating.
Oh, that made me throw up slightly less. Do more of that thing to it. Next
Yeah,
time,
or
and maybe I won't get.
we
food
keep on
poisoning.
having this spoiled food born disease killing thing. Like we're eating spoiled food, but what happens if you do this with the spoiled? People died. I'm telling you, people had to have died in order to figure this out. Now, I know we think of it as like, well, that was like 2,000 years ago. Those weren't people. Those were 2,000 years ago animal people. Like, that's the way I think our human brains compute it now. But those were like, that wasn't That wasn't a study done at Stanford with a control. You know what I'm saying? That like people just died. Like grandma just wasn't
That
here.
was your
'cause-
that was your study.
yeah.
Who died this go round?
Grandma said she'll try it, and now grandma ain't here no more.
I think the human body does a pretty good job of either adjusting or like getting rid of things that will kill them that are edible, right? Like your tongue is designed to know when something is poisonous because of the bitterness, and I just think that like the body was designed to do all this stuff, to have these experiments and survive them, man. That's why we end up with a bunch of stuff that we can eat, like
Which Jason is taking the medical professional vaccine approach, where like, hey, look, there's 100,000 of us. Okay, listen, I want you to listen to me good. There's 100,000 of us. Okay. Now look, 500 of you might fucking die. Okay. And another, call it 5,000 of you might have some pretty adverse reactions. Okay. But the other 94,500 of you, this is going to be fucking great. Now, I don't know which one of you it's going to be, okay? I can't tell you that much, but what I could tell you is if I could tell you something is 94,000 out of 100,000 of us, it's going to be great and improve our likelihoods going forward, I think we should do it. And everybody's kind of like, I don't know. I've been reading this Bible thing.
I think it's more that out of necessity we identified stuff that will kill you because someone had to do it because the other stuff that they knew would not kill them wasn't around. Right? So it's like, you know, someone ate a mushroom somewhere because they were out of food probably, and they died. Not because they were like, well, there's nothing else to eat, we have to try these mushrooms, let's see if they work, and then they died. I think that
Again, walk me through the process of taking cabbage, burying it underground, letting it sit there for an amount of time until it, 1, tastes really good, 2, turns out to be really good for you, and 3, we followed and figured out that process enough that we could just readily duplicate it and it be okay for everybody.
a lot of this shit is just by accident too.
That's what I'm saying. And accidents on the front end have some pretty bad consequence. But now here we are just going over to where there used to be a strip club, knocking on a door and having somebody give me food. And I completely trust the situation.
Well,
Hand
remember
it to
that
you-
like
do they have a window or do they hand it to you through the door? Or
They
do you
open
walk
the
in
door.
and there's a little counter?
Ryland, there is a strip plaza. You park
Yeah.
the way you would like next to a donut shop. Pretend the donut shop, walk to the front door of the donut shop and said, you're not coming in here. You could see the people making the food through
They
the
hand
window.
it to you through the door.
They open the door fully. They walk out. They say, Brad, and you say yes. And they say, do you have your order number? And you take your cell phone, you put it in their face. They match it to the
They go
order
back
number.
and pick up the bag and hand it to you. So I love the idea of we're not going to have a window. We're
Mm-mm.
not going to even have a little tiny notch here, like a little payday loan place where you
Mm-mm.
just walk in 3 feet. We're going to hand it to you through the door.
And what
That's
you see inside
I
the
love it.
tinted window is like stainless steel prep tables and like what looks like, for all intents and purposes, a kitchen. And people back there in the kitchen, and then some sort of counter staging area where they're wrapping up all the stuff. And that person leaves that counter, opens the door, confirms your order information, and then brings it out to you. It's pretty awesome.
I texted right after you mentioned it. I texted a couple of my friends that I knew would be into it, the link to the place, and I haven't checked the little group text I started, but it says it has 59 messages, so I'm going to that place apparently at some point soon.
Yeah. You get yourself a big old tray for a bunch of friends. They're like they're robust appetizers is what I would say. But if you eat 4 or 5 of them, it serves as a lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their whole thing. Outside of that, I think they got some Korean chips. You want some chips you never had before? They got some Korean chips that I don't know how to pronounce the names to, and their packaging and their merchandising look way different than anything we have as far as chip packages in the store. It's awesome. I can't stop thinking about it. Got to figure out a reason to get back over there. How about this for that ass?
Yeah, give me that. Give me that outro.
Riley.
Hey, name the place again one more time for people that want to go. Spell it.
Nico Yubu. Neko
N-E-K-O.
Yubu.
Let's see if
Why
they'll
do you
sponsor
beat
us.
you?
I don't.
If they're handing you the food through the door, they ain't checking for sponsors.
This place looks really good. Man.
They're
Place
doing.
looks-
They're letting. There is no marketing. There is nothing. There's
This looks,
food and a website.
this looks real good. This looks
It's
real
so good. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I can't even compare. It's like if sushi was like ramped up and you're thinking sushi, so it's got to be fancy or something, or it's got to be like a real dollar, but it was incredibly affordable, easy, and kind of out of the way, but so good.
Kimchi
was so
bacon
good.
looks good. Grilled spicy pork.
It was so good.
Dude, I
I'm
want
telling you.
this. I want this in my
Go
mouth.
drive over there and go get it.
I might.
For Brad, for Riley. Hey, have y'all been seeing my picture takings? I said it
Yeah,
as
you're doing a great job. We're proud of you. We talked about it. Riley and I had a conversation about it
He
outside of the
hasn't seen-
show.
He hasn't seen a one. He hasn't.
No, I
seen
did.
a
I saw
one.
the light. I saw the lightning ones. I thought those were good. I was wondering how you got those. Did you? What was the aperture at? What'd you do? Little. What was that? What is it?
F8.
F8. Okay. Yeah. Use a tripod.
No, I
Had
didn't.
to, right?
Nope.
Really?
I used my
Hands of
50
steel.
I used my 50 millimeter. I put it on continuous shot, high drive mode. Not for the first one. I knew that my 50 mil was going to be trash in terms of grabbing enough light for the glass. And so I was trying to go way underexposed. And I knew it would be ultimately dark. But then when I used my little sensor as the flash, it's just a little sensor on the camera. It's not an actual flash. And I put it into high drive mode and clicked about 1,000 pictures in 2 seconds. That was able to capture the actual lightning strikes better than I was doing before. I'm still learning how to use the damn camera, Jason.
Yeah.
You understand
you're doing
me, damn
good,
it?
man. No, you're doing good. I'm really proud of you. You want
then
to
I
go
was-
shooting sometime?
Yeah. If you want to, I'll walk around with you in your dad chinos and dry fit Nike and take pictures of strangers in the park. 100%. I'll do that on your ass.
We're proud of you, man. Keep doing it.
Brad, rather than Jason, Human Dads 265. We'll holler at y'all next time. Bring the bacon. Bring the bacon. Tell your mom to listen and not giving you the rest of them because it is free baby Jessica to the end of the
It
year.
is.
Free baby Jessica. Holler at y'all next time.
Free the breaking.
Did somebody just fall in one of y'all's houses?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Maybe that was my house. Awesome.
You better go check.